It takes forever to, and it's the system that we have. If we got a different system, perhaps it would be better. But you have to scan the patient, scan the med. Many times the meds don't scan. You can speak to the pharmacist, they try to correct it, but it's exhausting. I could give 10 patients their meds the time it takes me to give one patient meds here.
So,
In the old system. But when you flip that around, you have, the doctors can go on the computers, they can bring up their x-rays, they can look at the actual x-ray on the computer. We can look at our lab tests on the computer. So there's benefits to that. That's really good. But they're slow. They're very slow. Now, I never used a computer before. All my kids use computers. I mean, I have a Mac at home. But my son was always on it doing his homework. He was in high school, you know, so I'm like, whatever, he's doing that. But when I started using it here, I thought, this is efficiency. They're going to be fast, and it's going to help us. And there's other things. We have patients monitored at the bedside. In some facilities, the blood pressures cross over to the other computer. We have to hand chart everything every hour. Every intravenous fluid, we have to type in. So you're talking, these are very sick, unstable patients. They could have 5 and 6 drips running. So you're putting in, and you could be changing that every 15 minutes, the dosage. So you have to identify that and put that in. So it has slowed us down a lot. But I think in other areas, it's helpful. I mean, you know, we have to move forward. It is what it is. As my friend Mary Ann said, it's not changing, so you better learn it. And we did. We all learned it, but other facilities have different computers, different systems that work more efficiently. And my son is a college graduate, and he said, "I'm just bringing a few college kids, Mom. They'll fix the computers because you're smart, because you're computer, you know, you're computer literate." And that's the other thing, is that we don't have a strong backup here. If our computer goes down, we're screwed. I have an emergency. I got to give patient meds. So we're the old nurses. We just give meds, and we chart it later. But you're going to be taught as young people, and it's a safety thing. The computer, in some respects, is safer. Let me give you an example. I may go in the room with a Salucet antibiotic to hang for a patient.
okay.
You're tempted, you know, the old way. You just hang it, boop, plug it in. No, you open your computer, you scan the patient, you scan the med. Sometimes you'll get to that part and be like, oh, the doctor just discontinued it. So you didn't even know it yet, because he discontinued it in the computer, but it didn't come forward, so you didn't see it. So it's a safety thing overall, to scan the patient, scan the med. And I get it. I'm sure there's people that make grave errors on medications.
Yeah.
I'm lucky, knock on wood. You know, we were always taught the 3 checks. Check the patient's bracelet, check the med again, check the time, the dosage, the route. You know, that was ingrained in us as nurses. Now, I think that you can get a little sloppy, because there's no thought process there, you know? Oh, scan the meds, scan the patient. You're like a robot giving meds.
Yeah.
And I think that in itself can be done. What do you think is going to happen next, Mayor? We have, one thing that did change dramatically for us as nurses is that we always had primary doctors that made rounds in the hospital. They no longer make rounds here. They have a hospitalist. The hospitalist is assigned to a unit or several units. He rounds on each patient. We round in the morning, though. We communicate how the patient's night was, what the plan of care is, and that part is excellent. But they have no emotional commitment to that patient.
Yeah.
If you're my patient, if I go to the office and you're my primary doctor and you see me, you know me, you get to know me when I'm well, you know, and you can see me when I'm sick. But that's the system. That's what they've done. And it works for the most part. I mean, I'm not saying these guys, they're good doctors. I'm not saying that they're not. They don't have offices. They don't see the patient after they leave the hospital. They only see the patient in the hospital. So that's where a big change took place. You have a few practices, physicians, medical practices that still make rounds, but most of them don't. And a big part of that
possible, and they do print various organs like trachea. They print, they create a lattice to for liver cells to grow on for future liver transplants. It's not used in clinical practice, but it's going to be tremendously useful in the future.
Okay.
We can never predict, but if you go on past experiences, the more changes in technology, the more we can do for patients, the more jobs there are. So instead of eliminating technologies, which is what everybody thinks can happen with new technologies, it actually usually creates more jobs. Just like an MRI creates jobs for MRI technicians.
So you don't think that like robots will like replace doctors ever?
No.
Okay.
My job is affected by technology because I use electronic medical records, which makes my job a lot easier and faster and more precise. A lot less mistakes can be made because it banks everything and we don't have to rely on filing and all that other stuff. Not affect my job negatively. I think it will only make it better just because it makes things more expeditious. It's more precise in terms of retaining information. So we don't have to rely on, there's a lot less chance for human error because computers are a little bit more precise. Of course, the negative, I guess the downside is that if the computers go down, then we're sort of paralyzed. We can't do anything. We have to wait till it goes back up again, or we have to revert to paper, but sometimes we don't have access to people's files, their charts, their labs, and other information like that. So for the most part, I'd say it's good, but there are some small little glitches or negative aspects.
Information that's available, the better, as long as it can be accumulated safely.
Okay, and like, how has technology already affected your job and like your everyday work?
Well, the technology has made it a lot easier and a lot safer for patients, but people's use of technology, like the insurance companies and the rules of Medicare, have made it much more time-consuming unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, technology definitely has a huge place in medicine as far as the efficiency of treating patients, delivering timely management, and becoming accustomed to the patient's care needs. That would be, it's been a while now, but the electronic medical record system, for instance, you can access remotely, you can access from your car from home, and that gives you definite advantage on where your patients stand and how to improve their quality of care. Additionally, there, as far as biotechnology sector, there's a vast lot of modules used to analyze patient data. We're allowed to have more collaborative approach with all the specialties.
Okay.
I think that in the next 10 to 20 years, the advances in radiology will be that a lot of artificial intelligence will be used to read the studies that we read today. So I think computers will be overtaking our jobs. It's not in the near future, but I think in the next maybe 20 years, I'm hoping 20 years, it will take that long, that machines and computers will be intelligent enough that they can interpret the images that we interpret as human beings today. So I think that can potentially eliminate radiologists to some extent. So that's always a worry in our minds, but I think that's one of the major changes. Other points in radiology, other things that we do like biopsies, and we do see patients, so that may not change. There's still going to be a role of radiology in medicine, although it may be different than it is today.
Okay.